I also have some really exciting things coming up. I'm starting an exclusive website selling extremely large wiener pictures.
Threesome, just us, you, me, and your best friend.
Welcome into the podcast, another episode of a one-man show. Thanks for all the love on the last episode. You guys loved Christina Farina. If you guys haven't seen it, you can get to know a little bit more about her in the last episode, but watch it after this one. Today we have our usual guests Pearson and Saxon.
Saw, dude.
This is all I hear from... Never mind. How was your guys' week?
It was pretty good. Made some money on the stonk market.
Oh, you made money? I lost.
You ain't following my trades, bro.
Yeah, what about you, Saxon?
I started working on this web series today.
Oh, what's it going to appear on?
I don't know yet. I think they're trying to sell it.
Okay.
What else happened this
You're
week?
up at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
I was up at 6 a.m. I haven't seen 6 a.m. in so long.
What'd it look like?
Dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. Yo, you know what else is crazy? California's on fire right now
NorCal
because
of a
of
baby
gender
shower.
reveal party.
Yeah.
Dude, when are people going to learn, man?
Didn't this happen before?
Yes, this
Over
is the
a
second
gender
time,
reveal?
like in literally the last year.
Is this actually the second time for a gender reveal
Yeah,
party?
there was a
think
smoke
so.
bomb
No
or
way.
something and lit up California. The pictures look pretty freaking rad. I saw a picture of like the San Francisco Giants stadium.
Mhm.
It's like the whole sky's red. It looks
Whoa.
cool, but terrible for the environment.
So
Right,
bad.
totally.
Gender reveal parties, man. What do you guys think about those?
I mean, you guys went to one. Was that pretty crazy?
I mean, they did smoke.
Yeah, they did do the smoke, and they did the poppers and everything, so I see how it could happen.
Who made
But-
those a thing? White people?
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Here's my question though. Like, why? Like, why do we care?
Everything's
Is
for
it just an
social
excuse
media.
to like hang out? Does it matter?
well, I don't know.
I think maybe it mattered back in like 1600 when they were like, I only need a man to carry on my name and my lineage.
Yeah.
The rest of you can die.
But wouldn't it be like embarrassing if you had all girls? Like, would you want to invite
in
everyone
the
to find
day?
out?
I guess back in the day, maybe. I don't know.
I guess it's just a celebration. You're celebrating the pregnancy.
But isn't that the
but-
baby shower?
No, because that's
Yeah.
just
How many
for
times
girls.
can we have this? How many times can we invite people over for drinks?
Isn't the baby shower just for girls?
Is it?
I think so.
I have no idea. I have not been to enough of these.
I've only been to a
I've
few,
never-
but like, no, there's baby showers for all babies.
For
No,
men.
like only the girls come.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's like the
I mean, you
girl
think
invites
guys
her
want to go
friends.
to a gender reveal party, Saxon?
Well,
you think
it
I'm
seems like they
excited?
went.
You think
Yeah.
you think I'm
you
excited
guys
to be
went.
like, yo, dude, oh my God, dude, this Saturday we have a gender reveal party.
Oh my God, I can't wait to blow off everything else I have to do in my life.
It's going to be awesome.
This is awesome. This
Dude,
is exactly
we're gonna
how I want to
kick
dispense
back,
it.
have a few
Yeah.
brewskis with the broskies.
Oh, sick.
He's probably going to be bummed out if it's a girl.
Right?
Because, you know,
'Cause that's
no.
just how
most
things
dudes
go.
just want a baby boy.
What? But I also have a question. Why? Does it matter?
I think like the last name thing.
Look, I don't want a daughter. Knowing all these girls in LA, man, I do
Everybody
not
with their freaking
want a daughter.
OnlyFans accounts?
Yeah, that is a topic of discussion that
shit.
I have written down. Every girl, 2020 is the year of desperation and OnlyFans.
I don't have
because
an OnlyFans. Not every
five.
girl. Thank you.
Nice.
Before you know it, no, I'm just kidding.
No.
Yo,
Here's
if you
the
want-
problem.
If you want to make a few thousand a month, you might as well just make
Yeah.
one.
I had a guy DM me and he's like, I can make you a millionaire before the end of the year.
Facts.
And I was like, how?
Here's the problem with I respect the hustle, right?
Right.
But the problem is, if you ever want a long-term career, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Like you're fucked. I'm sorry.
Also, it's not like modeling where you're doing a tasteful nude with
Right. It's not
Calvin
Playboy
Klein.
magazine. I know.
Yeah.
Back in the day, Playboy magazine obviously had a shtick. It was bad.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But they've gotten more artsy with it. I actually was going through Playboy just to get some inspiration for their shoots, and they're pretty artistic with like the stuff they do.
Yeah.
I remember back as a kid, I went down to my grandparents' basement. And my uncle had stacks of Playboy,
You're
like from back in the day.
Really?
And I was
I'm a
like,
child.
like when I was a child, I was like looking at him like, oh my God, this is what girls used to look like.
How much foliage is down
Yeah,
there?
literally, yeah.
My God, man. Look at that, man. You can't even see that little Squidward popping out.
Yeah, 100%. But OnlyFans, I feel like it just has this stigma of like, I don't know, iPhone photos in a mirror to me. It's like a snap. Like to me, when I think OnlyFans, I'm like, okay, you're Snapchatting a naked picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that how you feel about it?
I feel like the problem with it is you're just pricing yourself. You know what I mean? Like it's like $20 a month to see. Like I feel like you can do it in a way
where you add more value.
Yeah, or where it's like it's with a company, or it's like you said, Playboy, or like in a movie you have like write-offs
Yeah.
of like exactly what can be seen and shown.
Yeah.
And I guess on OnlyFans you are in control of it, but it does.
That's kind of cool.
It's
is
the
you-
thing. Well,
Yeah.
it's cool, right? You can make a fuckload of money now,
Right.
but long term, man, it's like the way that I think about it is like, do I want to marry a girl who did OnlyFans? Just morally from me, no. I don't want those pictures out there to be seen. Like, what if, you know, my son grows up or my daughter and his friends or her friends find their mom naked?
How
like,
horrific of a moment in your child's life. Imagine this. The year is 2041. You've had a child. The child is now a somewhat teenage adult thing.
right?
And
He searches mom and dad.
He's not even searching anything. He's just searching like, you know, vintage OnlyFans nudes or something like that.
like old Playboy magazine.
Exactly, right? And he comes across a photo and he schmanks his monkey to it. And it turns out later he sees the name across the bottom and it
Stop.
is
And
his
his mom?
own mother. I just now thought of that scenario in my head, and that is horrifying.
What
That
would
is
you do if that
worst
happened?
case scenario.
Oh,
was
I
you?
would become a monk. I would go. I'd be like, I'm a Christian again. I'm going back to Jesus. I'm praying again. My sins are gone.
Yeah.
For the love of God, I cannot undo.
I still
this.
think. I mean, look, not every. Obviously, we're generalizing. Not every girl on OnlyFans is showing nudes. Some of them showing clothed pics.
Also, why would you sign? Why would you sign up for clothed pics though? Because you can see that on Instagram, and already.
Well,
mean,
here's my thing.
They're just. It's just like a little strip, right?
Yeah.
And so it's
Well,
like.
Here's what my thing is. Do you think Instagram now will get rid of like the false reality of like, oh, I need to look like this because the girls are all doing OnlyFans, right?
No.
So maybe they'll stop posting their topless photos on Instagram and start posting clothed photos.
And it'll
so that
force the
people
content.
subscribe. Yeah, it'll force the content to shift on Instagram to rather it being sexualized content. It'll now be like, oh, more lifestyle or more fun content as opposed because every girl's on OnlyFans now.
Well, I feel like
that's
it's
cool.
almost more though, because they have to advertise their OnlyFans, so they're posting like more bikini pics and more like sexy
But
stuff.
a lot of them aren't posting nude on OnlyFans, so they're saving their like bikini and like underwear shit for OnlyFans. It'd be cool to like
That's
see
interesting.
Instagram make a comeback. To be honest, I feel like
Yeah.
I also know some guys that are doing OnlyFans.
yeah.
Yeah,
Tyler was telling us his friend
has
makes like what? How much a month? Makes
$10,000
$10,000 a month taking little dick pics.
That's
I mean, they could be
How
big
would
dick
you guys
pics, I
feel
don't know.
about me doing OnlyFans? I'm doing it. That's it.
I mean,
it's done.
You got a movie you're gonna about to be shooting.
Listen, I got Pearson Photo VIP, and I
Yeah.
feel like that's enough.
Yeah.
But here's my thing. Like I talked about this on Colin and Samir's podcast, and they were asking me about it, and I was like, you know, I literally it started out as a joke on the vlog, and I like because I filmed your butt at one point. And I was like, sign up for Mark's OnlyFans,
yeah.
and then that became the joke throughout the vlog. And then I thought of it, and I was like, oh, that's funny. I'm gonna go make an OnlyFans. And then I was like, why do I want to give 20% of my money to a corporation that doesn't
Exactly.
make any sense? But then on top of that, like, I actually don't get the control of how I value my fans. Because if you guys are paying for something, if my fans are paying for something, I want to actually add value to your life, not just photos that you can see on Instagram.
Right.
Yeah.
As a business person, when someone takes 20% just to host your shit, what
Yeah.
the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
you don't want to put in that extra work and that extra effort to like take 100% of your business.
Right, make a Squarespace.
Like literally, it's a naive thing being out here is like, oh yeah, everybody's doing it, I got to do it.
Yeah.
But no one's thinking different. I mean, there are people that are thinking different. You got Rachel Cook, she got her own magazine, but she's on she has hers on Patreon, which they take 12 to 15%. And then like on top of that, you got managers, you got lawyers, you got fees. Like
Yeah.
to own 100% of your business is such an important thing. And like
Yeah.
a lot of people don't understand too that social media is a business, you know, like
Yeah,
when
we
you,
talk
like-
about this a lot.
Yeah, they don't understand it.
Well, I think the tough part about like the way that people perceive social media is probably similar to the way that I perceived it before I like really dove into it heavily. Is it like, oh, we just film videos and take pictures? It can't be
Right.
that hard, right?
You
You
gotta
don't realize
yeah.
you're telling stories. You're having to come up with clickbait and content and storylines that engage the viewer and make them want to come back for more. And that's what you've been doing, you know, for years. That's what you know
Yeah.
we do in movies, and that's what we're now doing in a social context. But a lot of people, like our friends, will be like, come on, you don't have to work tonight. And you're like, what do you mean? Yeah, I'm working tonight.
Oh yeah, when they come to visit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my biggest pet peeve. People come to visit and they're like, "Oh, show me around." It's like, dude, I got a job. They're like, "No, you don't." It's like you get to pick your hours. And it's like, yeah, my hours are. If I don't work, then I don't get paid. Like you're off. You're on vacation.
Right. You got paid leave.
Yeah, and
tonight.
you made the good point to like a friend. You're like, "Yo, if I came to visit you, are you gonna take off work for the week?"
Right.
Okay, so don't expect me to.
Yeah.
Yo, speaking of, like social media being a business. Notice all the celebrities collabing right now. You got 6ix9ine going around doing his tour with all the influencers. He was just on Logan's podcast. I just saw Brie Larson did a video with my friend Lord DIY.
Really?
You got I wrote one more down. Oh, Black Bear just did a remix on Dixie D'Amelia's song.
Interesting.
Really?
Talk about all the mainstream traditional celebs
finally crossing over.
But you could look at it this way, right? They're finally crossing over, yes. They're using the social media stars to stay relevant, essentially.
And they're just using it to generate a huge audience super quickly, right?
Right. So, but it's like a reverse scenario. Like, I mean, social media, they're like the center celebrity right now, I would say, in terms of like
absolutely
Gen Z, like kids.
Yeah.
I think kids look more up to Charli D'Amelio than they do Brie Larson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. She's way more relevant.
But
too.
here, think about this. I mean, obviously, it's an honor for like a social media person to like have a celebrity on their show. It's like so fucking cool.
By the way, you're welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. But is Brie Larson gonna be like, "Oh yeah, Laura DIY, I'm shooting a movie. You want to be in it?"
No,
not a
chance.
She's literally using her to build her YouTube.
But I think there is
it's
a
mutually
mutual
beneficial.
Exchange. Yeah, there's definitely a mutual exchange in the fact that like
clout points.
Laura DIY now is like crazy clout because she had Oscar winner Brie Larson on her channel.
Yeah, well, it makes the influencers more credible.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it validates their success as well.
Do you think that it should reach a point though that social media starts making more than mainstream?
What do you mean? They already do.
In terms of no, they don't.
So,
you
think Logan Paul's house?
You think Logan Paul makes more than Brie Larson?
Fuck yeah.
I don't.
On a daily basis? Hell yeah.
Bro.
Listen. Brie Larson may make more money on one movie, and she can make some money on campaigns. I guarantee you Logan is making more money on a yearly basis consistently than Brie is.
I'm going to look. Hey, Siri.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's Brie Larson's net worth?
That doesn't work.
Yo, it says
2018.
10.
The estimated net worth of Brie Larson was about $10 million US.
Logan makes that in like a year.
Yeah.
And he's been doing that for like
expenses. 10 years. Homeboy spends hella money.
So Brie.
She just probably bought a house. She probably bought a whole podcast setup.
But who puts out more work? Logan works more than Brie. Yeah.
Brie works harder.
Brie works harder than Logan Paul?
Well, not harder, but like she has to do stunts and she has to do other stuff.
Yo, have you seen Logan? Sax, are you backing up Brie Larson now?
I don't know.
I got no problems with Brie Larson. I'm just saying traditional actors do how many movies a year?
That's true.
How many movies every 2 years? 3 years.
But those
one
are
a year max.
13-hour days.
She made $5 million on Captain Marvel.
That's it? So Brie Larson made $5 million on Captain Marvel.
I've got no hate in my heart for Brie Larson. I don't even know her. All I'm saying is
she just got pulled into the example.
Yeah.
We could speak for someone else, but I'm saying who works harder? Logan Paul. For me, I put out 3 videos a week.
Okay.
TikToks, all this shit.
Look, if you were telling me, let's take a better example. Somebody that's a creator, because Brie is just an actress at this point.
Right.
She's directed a movie too, but I would say somebody like, let's take Jessica Alba or Angelina Jolie. Either one of those two women they've got crazy work ethic. They're acting,
100%.
they're directing, they're
products,
producing, and then
Jessica Alba has a whole water company.
Right. They're at the similar capacities of Logan has a merch line. He's got his podcast.
Right,
he's got this.
Mm-hmm.
So comparably, like say Jessica Alba, who does a TV show like a podcast. She does Instagram and TikTok and all this other stuff like Logan. She also has her merch line, which is what is it? Honesty or whatever water.
Yeah, the water. Yeah.
So I would say like they would be comparable in work ethics and like style. I wouldn't necessarily. The
Do you
same
think
way.
social media yeah, I guess. So like a lot of those big A-list guys have so much going on. Like their schedules day to day are fucking insane.
You look at The Rock or like Robert Downey Jr., Jessica Alba, freaking Angelina Jolie. I guarantee most of their year is already planned out, including their following year.
Yeah.
Like The Rock has the next 5 years planned out.
They have like tours and press tours and shit.
Yeah, and all the years of training. Like I feel like everything Logan does, you kind of see, he puts it out, you know what I mean? All the videos, you see his like rise versus like Brie, you don't see that. You don't see how many years it took for her to get to the point she is. You only see kind of like the finished product.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you don't just.
She just got looped in.
Yeah.
I was just giving an example. Yo, guys, I interrupt this episode of the podcast to let you know that this episode is also brought to you by MyBookie. It is winning season, and the NFL has finally returned. You got the first game going tonight, and you got NFL Sunday this Sunday. If you guys use my promo code 2MENSHOW and click the link in the description, you guys will double your first deposit. That's what winning season is. It means insane props, epic bonuses, and the craziest cross-sport wagers. At MyBookie, winning season means watching live sports and betting live sports all season long. You guys know how much I love to bet on sports. If you've seen previous podcasts, and I'm pumped for the NFL to return. If you guys are in the fantasy, you guys will be stoked to do this. New players get up to $1,000 in free play designed to add more excitement to the sports you love and the games you bet. Like I said, I'm doubling your guys' deposit when you use the promo code 2MENSHOW and click the link in the description. Go win big, baby, only at MyBookie. I mean, I think, to be honest, social media is like one of the hardest working jobs.
It's hard because you have to be self-motivated and you have to come up with all this stuff.
I'm not even going to say it. No, never mind.
You're not dissing actors?
No, I'm not dissing actors at all. I was going to say something else.
You're not dissing hoes for shows?
Instagram models. I was going to be like,
models.
well, they don't really work that hard.
No, I think it is an interesting conversation. I feel like I can say from both perspectives, it's all a matter of the effort you put into it. Look, I know plenty of actors, dudes and chicks, whoever. I know actors in general. Let's say that they don't move their butt cheeks outside of to occasionally get to the gym. They play Call of Duty or they hang out and they go to like parties and stuff. And that's how much they make of their life. If you looked at me though, you'd be like, yo, this dude doesn't fucking sleep, right? And this is before I even started collabing with you and doing like social media stuff. This is just me on the daily grind of like, I was writing scripts. I was in production meetings. I was pitching shows. I was doing a lot. Yeah. So, and the same goes for content creators. There's certain, I think it's just a matter of, it's a case by case basis. Somebody like Logan or somebody like Jessica Alba or somebody like The Rock. These are the top tier of like work ethic and grind. But you know, it would be hard. I'd be hard pressed to find like other actors and actresses that are like necessarily doing the same level of stuff along with other influencers that I see that all they do is just go and party and they outsource all the rest of the work because they got super famous overnight.
Yeah, that's true.
That's just my point.
I mean, you got to outsource the work though to be able to like rise to the next level.
Sure, absolutely. I outsource a ton of work.
Yeah. Dan Bilzerian tweeted this. Actually, I never thought I'd be like, oh, I like Dan Bilzerian's tweet. But it was a Bob Marley quote. How do you guys feel about this?
All right.
The problem is people are being hated when they are real and are being loved when they are fake. Bob Marley.
Ooh. So we don't even love Dan Bilzerian. We just love Bob Marley still.
But how do you feel about that?
I feel like it's very interestingly relevant, especially in the entertainment space.
Yes.
And I want to be delicate when I say this because it's a difficult thing to be famous and relevant and people to notice you and to have an opinion that doesn't always line up with the arrangement of the masses or the powerful per se. I am strongly opinionated and oftentimes don't even share my opinion because I'm like,
because it doesn't align with people.
Yeah, it doesn't align with people. And they're like, that's fine. I'll just keep that to myself, probably for the best.
Right.
And I try to do my best to like I have a pretty objective opinion. Like if it's not logical or truthful, I can't hear you out. Like I'll hear you out. But if you can't make a logical and justified argument outside of I feel this way, then I'm gonna be like, all right, cool, have fun
Yeah,
feeling
yeah.
that way. Feelings are interesting.
No, I agree because I saw there's this one TikTok creator. Her name's I'm the J, and she used to do like funny like characters.
tons
of
you know who I'm
characters.
talking about,
Yeah.
right? Then she took like a hard turn into like
Christianity.
Christianity, yes,
Mhm.
and she started posting her faith online, and she like was getting mad hate about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's so crazy, like that. If you do post that kind of stuff, like you're gonna have people hate you because they don't agree with you.
Yeah.
And it's like we live in such a judgmental world where you can't like social media, bro, is fake as fuck.
Yeah.
Like I can't say like we have to cut shit out of the podcast what we say sometimes, like
all the time.
all the time.
I don't think
And
there's been a single pod where we've been like, that's perfect, just upload
there's-
that as is.
Yeah, it's like we say things and we're like, fuck, we probably can't say that.
Yeah.
And it's fucking annoying, dude.
It's super annoying.
Like it's annoying that you can get canceled, and cancel culture is such a thing. It's like, bro, let them think that, let them feel that way, let them believe in that. Why like that's called free speech. That's
Yeah.
That's the double-edged sword of free speech is like, look, I think flat earthers, no offense, but total offense, are dumb as fuck. Like, look outside, go in an airplane, look at the planets, look at the moon, look at literally anything, and fucking there's been infinite amount of tests that you can go online and do. I'm not going to sit here and try to argue my point to somebody that doesn't believe in logic or reason at this point. But all I'm saying,
Coming in hot.
all I'm
Pearson
saying
is a great arguer, by the way.
Oh, I know. He's a great arguer. Yes.
My point is that I also love the fact that we have flat earthers to prove that free speech is available to the world. And we're not burning them alive. We're not crucifying them. And I'm allowed to say they're stupid, and they're allowed to say I'm stupid, and that's totally fine. And now there's other subjects that I'm not even going to touch on or like get close to. But there's other subjects in the world that, you know, if somebody has a disagreement of opinion or just poses the question, they will be straw man crucified and, you know, thrown out and gaslit. I think that's a scary conversation to have in general. Is like, I just like to have really interesting conversations, and I feel like sometimes I could potentially ask a question that'll be like, what does he actually
You know
think?
what I'm curious about? I just thought about, what do other countries talk about on social media? Because our social media, all it is like Joe Biden this, Donald Trump that,
Yeah.
vegan this, fucking all these like controversial religion and stuff. What are other, comment down below if you're from another country. Do you guys have controversial things on social media, or are you just guys like,
They probably talk about us.
probably, right? They're probably
Yeah.
like, God, Americans are so fucking stupid. All they do is
stupid
bitch.
tourists.
Have you guys seen the TikTok where there's this Australian comedian? He's doing a stand-up routine, but they cartoonified it. And he's like, oh, yeah, you know, America's like the big jock older brother that goes around and just like railing at people. Like, hey, bro, what are you doing? Hey, give me your lunch money, North Korea. And then and then they tell everybody else what to do. And then they'd be like, hey, Australia, get over here and make them give us our lunch money. And they're like, oh, yeah, fuck yeah, let's get them. And I just think that's really funny. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's probably the way that we're perceived a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, just loud and like exactly what I just did.
But what doesn't make sense is why would people want to fucking come to America when all we do is bitch?
Well, there are a lot more.
Opportunity.
Yeah.
But is that a brainwashing?
No.
Is that telling
No.
people?
I think that's legit. Who was I just talking to? My buddy Rashid. He is French Moroccan, and he was talking to me about it, and he's been here for like 20 years. And he was like, you know what's really beautiful about America? And somebody else said this too. They were like, there's a sense of hope and there's a sense of happiness. And he's like, just as a whole, everyone here is far more optimistic. He's like, even when you guys, and now he's a citizen as well. He's like, even when we're down, there's still a sense of positivity versus when you're in another country. A lot of times, I don't want to speak vastly for every country.
Right.
This is just a generalization, but he's like, just where I grew up specifically, it felt like as soon as you were down, it was like, there's no hope. This is the end. But I think there's a sense of hope in America, even when like
That things are
times
possible.
hard. Yeah.
I saw this. You know how all these girls, like, I don't know if Bang Energy still like does all that promo shit. Do you know? Like everyone,
I think they do, yeah.
they still do like hardcore promo.
Should I be a bang boy?
It's
There
like
was-
a lot of money, but it's like so many videos and so many requirements.
Yeah.
And like,
You know what's I find funny.
Mm.
Like a lot of people, like, don't get me wrong. Actually, I'm gonna say pretty much, probably how much percent would you say of Instagram in LA is liberal?
A lot.
Probably like 95%.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And then 5% don't say anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Bang Energy CEO is a Trump supporter and was at a MAGA rally.
Shut
And I
up.
just find it hilarious
Hilarious.
that these girls, he's like paying the rent of all these people,
Yeah.
and
And they're all
the
vegans
irony.
and
They're
they're
all,
all
like,
liberals and
anti-Trump, and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, yeah, we'll take your money,
But
but I don't agree with you. But thanks for paying my rent.
thank you for paying my rent. Fuck you, man.
Also, guys, I want to say a shout out to Norway. Threesome is number 21 on the Norway Viral 50 charts.
Yo, what up, Norway?
Woo!
And it is
Norway.
number 1 in British Columbia on Shazam.
nice.
Which is pretty
That's
cool.
awesome.
And also, all right, getting away from all this political bullshit.
Moment of silence for threesome.
Why are we having silence? It didn't pass away. It's still here.
I know. I don't know. I just
Oh.
wanted to do a moment of silence.
Good celebrating.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
High five over here in the celebration corner.
Two crazy things this week. One, we had a heat wave in California, 113 degrees it was, and that day our air conditioner went out,
Great
and
times.
it sucked. So if you don't have AC, I felt your pain, and I forever in my life want to have AC.
Yeah. We take it for granted,
Yes,
man.
literally. I was sitting there. I'm like, damn, bro, I fucking take this for granted.
Yeah.
Like, having air conditioning is a
Mhm.
huge difference in how I sleep. Like,
Yo, for real. I came downstairs and it was just the fan that was blowing, and I still only slept for like 2 hours, and I was like, I'm sweating. I
Yeah.
can't stop. Also, my plants turned to ash.
well, back in the day too, my parents wouldn't turn on the AC because save power and bills
Yeah.
and stuff. So I used to have a fan in my room back then. But it's been so long since I've had that feeling, and I
Yeah.
was like, wow, I take this for granted so hard.
Yo, my parents used to do the same thing, and I was like, I will pay for it. Just turn the AC on. It's so
Yeah,
hot.
literally. So I feel for you guys if you don't have AC, and that sounded like extreme privilege. So I'm
Maybe
sorry.
that's why people want to come to America.
It's because
we
we have
have
AC.
AC.
Yeah.
Not everybody does. I have a friend that lives in LA that doesn't have it.
Really?
Yeah, Adelia doesn't have AC.
Really?
No, she has a
Get a
plug-in
swamp
one.
cooler.
Yeah, and then I did a cold plunge this week.
Ooh,
I
how
went
was that?
in a cold tub. It was 39 degrees. I was trying to get for 6 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's as long as you can stay in the 39 degree one. And I got in, and it was good. And then 4 minutes in, my body started to shake uncontrollably,
Oof.
shivering.
Yeah.
So I had to get out at 4:30. He told me, he's like, "That's your body telling you
It's time.
it's time." It was really dope. I recommend you guys do it. It's like a reset kind of like your blood rush. I don't know how you explain it on my vlog. It'll be out in one of the vlogs.
That's
whenever
really
find
I mean,
it
it's like the
post.
Wim Hof method. Like the cold plunge essentially shoots cortisol throughout your body, which is like a nice wake up call,
Mm-hmm.
and it forces blood from your extremities into your internal organs, and it forces oxygen rich blood all around it to protect them and protect you. And it
Right.
releases endorphins, and there's so many good benefits. Plus, it forces you to breathe.
Yeah, it was really sick. And then after I went to this place called Erewhon, guys. It's this market in LA. It's over by the Grove. Extremely overpriced.
Sponsor us though, just in case.
But might have the most beautiful women in Los Angeles at this place. I think I'm gonna go there
Yo,
once
Saxon,
a week.
you must be shopping.
Oh,
Ooh.
well,
Shots
flirtatious.
fired. What's
thing
up?
going
What's
on
up,
over
bro?
here.
How you doing?
I might just go there once a week and buy a water just so I can,
Get
scope out
your
the
flirt game. You're like, I'll take this water. It's 1 pint.
Yeah.
$25.
Yeah, literally. I spent
been
like
spat on by
$32.
a-
I went with my friends and they wanted to go there, and then I had diarrhea. So
How was it worth the diarrhea?
no. That's why I said I'll get a water. next time. But speaking of vlogging too, I'm gonna take a break soon, reset, and also we're gonna reset the podcast studio, revamp it, design it,
We put up curtains.
put up curtains to block the sound a little bit.
It's very nice.
It's gonna be dope.
It looks way cleaner than
Looks
we
so
had it.
professional.
Yeah.
But I want to talk a little bit about Pearson. Pearson drove 4 hours to see a movie last weekend.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk about this?
Dude, let me tell you
Can I-
all about this. Okay, first of all, since quarantine began, I have not been to a single movie in a movie theater.
Right.
You've got to understand, movies are therapy to me. If people have religion, I have movies. And if religion has a priest, a pope, or a pastor, it's Christopher Nolan, Steven Spielberg, and there's a few others in there. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but Christopher Nolan. He released a movie called Tenet. Yes.
And I keep thinking you're saying tenant, but it's tenet.
Yeah.
T-E-N-E-T.
Tenet.
Jinx. Tenet.
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 Whatever the fuck that means.
I have a word for you. Tenet. Sorry, you didn't watch the movie. It's fine.
Yeah, I didn't go.
You're there.
But it was fucking amazing. Like it was worth every second of the drive down and the drive back. Also, it was just like, it was so much fun to actually be back in a shared environment, even though we were separated by rows and like 6 chairs down and all that stuff. It was just like the moment of having an audience to share an epic high concept movie with, and especially
guys,
Tenet to be the one. I was just like, I was thrilled for like the next few days. Even today, I'm still like, I want to go back down and see it. I was just so inspired.
I'm thinking about taking a day trip down there. Basically, well, we're talking about San Diego, guys. So in Los Angeles, still movie theaters are closed.
Mm-hmm.
Movie theaters across the U.S. opened up this past weekend, yeah?
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much. So
California and New York are just the
in
closed
San
ones.
Diego, they had one open, so Pearson drove down with a bunch of peeps.
We had myself, Tyler Saxon, David, Brock, and Christian, the guy that's designing the Pearson Photo VIP stuff, and it was fucking lit.
It was
Yeah.
so cute. They were so excited.
We got to do something because Pearson is heading off in a couple weeks, guys. He's going to be gone
Yeah.
until Christmas.
I know. I feel so sad.
Right?
I'm excited for you.
Thank
It's
you.
amazing. It's a
you.
great opportunity.
It is.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. Are we like?
Yeah, what are you guys going to do without me?
I'm going home. I'm going home to Ohio
Really?
for my brother's bachelor party, and then I'm
Oh,
going to
nice.
Lake Tahoe. So I'm going to take a couple weeks off.
That'll be good.
Revamp. I also have some really exciting things coming up. I'm starting an exclusive website selling extremely large wiener pictures.
Ooh,
I'm just
only
kidding.
marks. Only marks is what.
But
we're
yeah,
gonna
I'm
call
starting
it.
up a website. I'm working on merch, working on some other products, which is really interesting.
Mark, I have a legitimate question. I want to know, mainly for the audience's purposes, we've talked about it a lot, but I want to know why you feel the need to take a break.
Because here's my thing. I keep posting, right? And I keep saying, God, I want to switch up my content. Like, I've been doing the same kind of content for however many years.
Yeah.
And as long as I keep posting, I'm going to keep making the same content.
Yep.
And nothing's going to change. And I'm just following this rhythm of comfortability of like, oh, cool. This is what I do. And that's what's happened. And I really want to sit back and figure it out what it is that I want to do next with my life.
Yeah.
And with content, with videos. I want to make, like, don't get me wrong, it's fun to vlog, but there's only so much I can come up with after. We've talked about this so many times, hundreds of videos. There's only so many new things I can do and be creative.
Yeah.
And I want to make videos that are meaningful, that I'm proud of.
Yeah.
Instead of just putting out, like, I've really learned that making music has made me love creating with other people and also creating something that, like, I'm proud of and that I want to put out. Like, a vlog is great, but like I put out so many of them and it's just like I'm not proud of them.
Yeah.
You know, like,
You're just doing it to do it at this
I'm
point.
proud of myself for like pushing and working and, you know, not stopping and giving up. I know a lot of friends that, you know, back in Vine days, like, Vine went away and then they just kind of gave up.
Yeah.
And they stopped creating content and they didn't adapt. But yeah, I want to figure out what's next for me there. I don't think I'm going to post 2 to 3 times a week. I think I might just post once a week and do a lot of stuff for the website, high-end content. I'm working on some high-end stuff on there, like putting money into it and stuff. So we'll see. I'm going to take a break, figure out my life. And also when Pearson's gone, his trainer's going to train me.
Yep.
And
Got him doing a 21-day challenge.
Yeah.
Go check it out on the Photo Philosophy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We just did
called
a
him out. He was
podcast.
like, we'll change your body in 21 days.
Yeah, so I really, like, that's something that really makes me happy. Back in the day when, honestly, after my breakup, when I started working out and just eating healthy and focusing on me, it's probably one of the happiest moments of my life where I was like, I didn't worry about creating content. I was like, I knew when I woke up, I was working out and doing whatever the fuck I wanted.
Right.
And I was so happy during that time. And honestly, I just want to go back to that because every day, like, I need to shut my brain off sometimes, and like I'm always trying to think of content and all that.
Yeah.
And I think if I know that I'm not posting, then I don't have to think.
Yeah.
It's like it's
allows
one
you
less
to-
thing of stress.
I mean, if you think about it from the perspective of like, let's do like an Elon Musk or like a Steve Jobs or these really, really high performance human beings, Oprah, any of them, on some level at some point when they've reached capacity, when their company or their business has like peaked, they themselves have to step back and rethink.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at some point they have to re-strategize and be like, okay, we've got so many things going on. It's all working, but now I am bored of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't like it anymore. And I think you're at the place of your business, of Mark Dohner, you know, vlogs of Mark Dohner, Instagram of Mark Dohner, everything, where you're like, I really need to step back and rethink it. And like, you know, for me, I always have like phases and plans and goals and bars set for myself nonstop, like even a daily goal and bar thing. And I think this is like a perfect opportunity for you to take a moment and really get to see, number one, everything that you've accomplished in 5 years. It's pretty fucking epic. You know, like how many videos have you made? Hundreds.
Thousands.
Yeah. If we're just counting, like, think of the tens, probably 10,000 pieces of content over, just on like pictures, Instagram stories, YouTube stories, lives, this and that and the other. And now you have the chance to step back and look at it. Like, imagine if you were just looking at this picture, right? And you were staring at just a single square of it. And you're like, man, I'm so frustrated with this one little square. It just doesn't feel like enough. But right now you're giving yourself the opportunity to step back and look at the whole picture and be like, how can we add more to the canvas?
Right. I see TikToks too, like everybody's like about David Dobrik. They're like, dude, come on, post vlogs. Like, we need you. Like, what's going on? Like, a lot of people don't really get how hard it is, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he's chilling, dude. He's
Yeah.
like, hell yeah, I have a reason to stop.
Yeah.
And because you kind of like, I've seen podcast interviews of him of like, he forced himself to post even though he was like not happy at all.
Yeah.
And like, because the people, like, there's a weird pressure I feel like you put on yourself, and also you hear the fans like saying all this shit. It bottles up inside of you, and it's hard to ignore, you know? Like, it makes you sometimes want to turn off your comments when you see the hate and people talking shit. It's like, I'm putting myself out there for you to judge me, and I'm not saying things about you. And there's some things, dude, that like, they are hurtful. Like, people have no fucking mercy, bro.
They don't.
Like, especially
people are savages in the comments.
like when I pop up on, like, TikTok's a new platform I'm on, and like I'll see comments. It's like, this dude's washed up since he left Logan's vlogs, or, oh, I forgot you even existed. Like, shit like that. And I'm just like, damn, you guys are fucking, I'm a human being, bro. Like,
yeah.
that's great for you to say that about me, you know, because I'm out here commenting on your posts. Like, it really boggles my mind how people have the energy to just talk trash about someone.
Yeah.
Like another human being, you know. Are you gonna say those things to my face?
Yeah.
Like, come say it to my face, because you're not gonna. Like, you're a little keyboard warrior, and that's cool, but like, I don't know.
It is very brave of you to be putting yourself out there like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think people understand that. You know what I mean? I feel like they kind of think because you're putting yourself out there, it's acceptable for them to judge you and be like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they've never done it. You know what I mean? And if anything, they might be a little bit jealous of you being able to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's actually a really good point. Is like, there is a certain amount of jealousy or projecting that happens when people, like, for instance, when you had your one friend that was commenting about your hair and like the cover of the threesome thing. I thought it was just a giant projection of their own insecurity.
Yeah.
You know, and that just seemed to me to be like a common thread amongst a lot of people. I will say this is my one context thing to what you said is like, once you put yourself out there, you do have to release it. Like, there's no, once we put it out into the ether like that, we accept the fact that we no longer have control, and we accept the fact that we are willing to be judged, even though it is a projection of their own insecurity. We just have to accept that and have thick skin. I mean, you have thick skin, I have thick skin, but it does get to you. You can't help it.
Yeah, especially because I've done so much in so many, like even like comments about like, oh, you're the guy from Logan Paul's vlogs. It's like, bro, I haven't been in his vlogs in how long?
Right.
One. Two, I've also made 600 of my own vlogs.
Right.
And hundreds of other pieces of content. Like, why can't you be like, oh, you're Mark Dohner? You know, like, it's just like, I don't know. That shit gets to you sometimes. I got a funny story that I wrote down. Tyler, you want to come on here and talk about it? The girl? Or do you want me to just tell it?
You can just tell
All right, I'll tell it. Tyler was, just minding his own business this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Some girl he used to hook up with shot him a text and was like basically asking, hey, let's hook up.
Oh, this is a great text.
And Tyler's like, yo, don't you have a boyfriend? And she's like, I would never cheat, only with you. Like this type of stuff. Yeah,
Yo.
like she had a boyfriend and shit. And where was she on vacation?
She went to Vegas for a
Yeah. She was in Vegas. She was drinking. She's basically sexting Tyler, sending him nudes. Like, yo, I want to fuck. And Tyler's like in the clear. He's like, look, you have a boyfriend. Like, if you weren't dating someone, then maybe. But like, I'm just not cool with that.
Very
Yeah.
respectable.
Yo,
Yeah.
Tyler.
Let's go, Tyler.
He's a
Yeah.
stand-up guy.
Stand-up
Moral.
guy. He's
Let's
like looking out
go.
for the homie, which is
Yeah.
pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
So then she gets home from Vegas, and on her bed is Tyler and her's conversation printed out with a breakup letter. So the dude had like her login info on Instagram or some shit, I don't know, but her boyfriend printed out their conversation, put it on the bed, and she thought Tyler exposed them. Like, she's like, yo, Tyler, what the fuck? Like, why'd you tell my boyfriend? And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then she sent him a photo. But Pearson made a analogy that I wasn't thinking of, and Tyler told it to me, and I'm like, oh fuck, maybe that is a good point. What did you say?
I said, listen, this chick already seems crazy. What if she printed all of that out herself, put it on her bed, and pretended she broke up with her boyfriend just so she could fuck you and get away with it?
And guilt trip you.
Yep, after.
Like, now you owe me this.
I never thought of that. Did you ever find out or no?
I saw it in her bag.
Still haven't hit her back.
Yeah.
Tell us what
Don't
you guys
hit her
think in the
back.
comments. Do you think she was manipulating Tyler and making it seem like they broke up so she can cheat? Or do you think her boyfriend actually...
I think the boyfriend would have DM'd Tyler and been like, hey man, thanks for looking out.
Yeah.
I
There
feel like
you
that's
go.
what you would do. Like if I,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't just
True.
print it out and not reach out to Tyler, especially if Tyler was being
And the
so,
boyfriend wasn't there. Like that's
Yeah.
just a savage thing. Like no one's gonna print out a conversation, lay it on the bed, and just take all their things and leave and
I wanna
never
see-
talk to you.
I want to see
I
his.
might do that.
I want to
Sounds
see his handwriting
You would want an
and
explanation.
see if it looks like a
You would-
little curly kiwi.
I
and
think
maybe it was
anyone in
hers.
a relationship would want to face to face say fuck you. They wouldn't print it out and dip.
I don't know.
How
I
long do they
might.
date for? 2-year relationship?
Nah,
No.
they're
you'd have to
definitely
talk.
taking
You're
it
having a
face-to-face
conversation.
for
Yeah.
sure. Yep.
I agree with Pearson now that I break it down.
Yeah.
She's trying to
and
con you into sleeping with her, bro.
I really
Yeah.
do think he would
Run,
DM
bro.
Tyler.
What?
I really do think he would have DM'd Tyler.
Yeah.
Like I really do.
Or been like, yo, bro, what the fuck? Why you DMing my girl and saying maybe when you're
I
single?
mean, I watched
like anything.
Tyler showed me the DMs. I was like, oh yeah, dude. I was like, you did a good job. Like you didn't say
Yeah.
anything bad.
Yo, Tyler
She
played it
just-
Tyler,
perfect.
terrible.
good job.
A moment of silence for Tyler.
Good job, Tyler. I'm proud of you.
I wrote this down. This week on the stock market, I took an L and I posted it on social media because,
that, yeah.
bro, the only times I ever see people posting stocks in their Robinhood accounts and shit on social media is when they catch dubs.
Yep.
And I'm like, this is what I hate about social media. Everybody only shows the wins.
Yeah.
It's a highlight reel. It's like, hey, I made X amount of dollars this day. Great. Sounds good. Why don't you post the days you lose? Because I know that day I lost, everyone fucking lost. And you didn't see nobody posting that they won. Well, Pearson bought inverse stocks. But still, there's days that you lose.
Nice.
And I think that there's this false reality like on social media. It's like, oh, everybody's like, get into stocks. You win every time.
Yeah.
Like everyone thinks
The
that,
market
right?
doesn't always go up. Clearly.
There's days where you lose.
Clearly.
Like, yeah, I lost whatever $4,000 that day, another
Yeah.
$5,000 the next day. I was down like 11,000 in a week.
Yeah.
And then today I, made a couple thousand back. And it's like, guys, if you're getting into the stock market, don't have this expectation because all these kids post their wins that you're missing out on W's. Like, you got to really know what you're doing. And if you don't, then you could
Yeah.
catch some L's.
If you don't study the fundamentals of every stock that you're buying, and if you don't understand the way that the market works and how the market maker works and how it fluctuates in times of pandemic or fear or elections or times of the year even, or just times of the week. And like
Yeah.
what we call there's like a 10 a.m. pumper dump. There's a 12:30 and a 12:50 pumper dump. And then there's a post-market pump or dump. And depending on if it's freaking, earnings season, if it's
That's
election
PST
season.
time, by the way.
Yeah, PST.
Yeah.
There's so many factors that go into these things. And when you guys, that's one of the reasons that I don't talk about it a ton, is because I don't want to be the guy that's held accountable for stock advice, because I'm not a licensed broker. My uncle is, but I'm not. And I don't want to be giving you guys advice where it's like, everybody dump everything in Tesla, and then it does a 20% drop like it did yesterday.
So Amanda Cerny posted on Twitter. She's like, I just bought when it was 2,000 something dollars a share, like at its peak, its highest point. She posted like, I just bought 25 shares of Tesla, which is like 30 G's worth.
Yeah, and it did a split.
And it's like, and then it got split, and then it got
ran up, and then it got
clapped,
destroyed.
But if you're an Amanda Cerny fan, and you're like, oh, she bought Tesla, I need to buy Tesla.
Right.
And then you just lost X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
And also, you shouldn't post that kind of stuff, in my opinion. I'm not going to sit here and be like, yo, I just bought this now. Like, because what if it does do bad?
Yeah.
You know?
It's a weird thing. I wouldn't mind posting some of my plays as long as like there were some like legal connotation of like, hey,
you don't want to fuck with people with money.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That's like it's a weird juxtaposition.
Yeah. If you take my advice and you're like, got $10,000, and I'm like, yo, put it into this stock, and then you lose $1,000, like, I'm fucking with your livelihood.
Yep.
Like, you're not gonna be a fan of Mark Dohner if he makes you lose $1,000.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
well, and it can be dangerous too, because like, wasn't there that guy, and he posted, he was like, how does a college student get $900,000 in debt in stocks, and he like committed suicide.
Yeah.
From
That's
his
like
stocks.
750,000 or something.
750,000 or something.
Because there was a
like that.
mistake on his Robinhood or something.
Well, it
Or
wasn't a mistake. He was selling an option and he got destroyed on it. And this is the really sad part about that story is like, number one, first of all, if you guys are in stocks and you don't understand what you're doing with options, don't fucking touch options trading or futures trading or any
I
of
don't
that shit.
understand it. Yeah.
Don't touch stocks in general if you don't understand it. But like, if you buy a stock, at least you know you own the stock, and it can run to 0 or it can run to 100, and you just own that thing. But if you buy and sell options and you don't understand the dynamics of what's going on there, you can literally lose infinite amounts of money. But the sad part about that is that there are lawyers and attorneys and funds that are set up and in place so that way his loss could have been wiped away and somebody would have stepped in and paid his debt. Like the government would have stepped in, because this happens fairly often.
Oh, really?
But now, granted, there's major repercussions on his credit, on his livelihood, and all sorts of stuff. But he didn't have to end his life like that.
Yeah, declare bankruptcy.
Yeah,
right?
you can declare bankruptcy, and then the Fed would step in and take care of your debt. And I'm sure there's other things that go along with it. But that's really sad. And if you guys are in those positions, know that there are people out there that handle those types of scenarios. Reach out first. Understand what's going on. I ran up what was it was called inflated debt or something like that. It just essentially meant that I couldn't lose more money than X amount of dollars on this stock to write it off on a stock in the tax year. So I didn't fully understand that, and I freaked out, and I called my business manager, I called my dad, I called my uncle, I called like 12 different people, and I thought I was down $200,000, and it didn't mean that at all. It just meant that I couldn't call taxes on this specific kind of stock. But you guys, don't fuck around with these things if you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get a financial advisor.
For real.
I think they take 1%.
Yeah.
That's something you're worth. Your knowledge is worth giving 1%
Yeah.
up for.
For real.
Yeah.
You hire them. That's fine.
What do you think of nice guys finishing last?
Saxon.
I saw this
See-
TikTok. Here, listen to this TikTok. I'm not going to play it in the speaker because there's music to it, and I don't want to get copyrighted, but listen.
Nice guys always finish last because they're constantly worried about how somebody else is feeling, that they forget to take care of themselves. And in this process, they forget who they are. And the person that they want to fall in love with forgets who they are too.
Basically, nice guys finish last because they take care of everybody else. They forget to take care of themselves, and then it reaches the point where they lost themselves and they forget who they are, and then the person they love also doesn't like love them anymore.
I think if you're doing something to get something in return, if you're being a nice guy to like get love back, that's not right. You know what I mean? And I don't think you would do that if you weren't.
I would
looking for
say
something
that
back.
I'm a nice guy, and I felt that. That's why I brought it up. Back in my relationship, I would do all of these things for other people, and I never really gave myself the time of day. And then it reached the point where I was like not happy with myself. And then ultimately me not being happy with myself resulted in my relationship falling apart. So that's how I felt that.
I'm sorry.
I mean,
That
you don't have to be
sucks.
sorry.
No, but that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Why do you think you were putting other people before you?
I don't know. I always put other people before me, I think.
Why? Like, there's no reason.
I
Like,
have a hard time saying no. I mean, me and Pearson have had this conversation a lot. Like, I feel, I don't know.
You feel indebted.
I feel like I owe them something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's an interesting thing because I mean, technically it's not a bad feeling. It's only bad to you, but then it spreads out to the people around you that care about you because you get used by people that don't care about you.
Yeah.
You know, the people that care about you, I mean, like we want to take care of you and like protect Mark, you know, because you are such a giving guy and you give a lot of yourself to the extent where like then you start to feel used because those people don't give back in return. And I think that's where that's the dilemma is like, I disagree with the nice guys finish last, and I agree with Saxon's sentiment on it. Is like, are you a nice guy if you're always expecting something in return, or can you be a nice guy? Like, I feel like I'm a pretty nice guy, but I have extreme boundaries.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'm nice, but if you cross my boundaries, then I don't need to know you. But if you're inside of my boundary lines of where I don't feel used and neither do you, then I think I can be extremely nice.
Yeah, I think there's probably a point where like you can give love and you can give things, and then there's a point where you're going to start to feel used because you would expect them to treat you well. You know what I mean? Even if you love someone, you're like, okay, they should be nice to me or they should respect me. You should only love them as much as you can without needing them to give something back. Because that's where you start to feel used, and that's where like things start to go bad. You know what I mean?
Do you guys think that at what point do we give and then it start to expect something? Like at what point is it a gift? And then at what point do we say, I'm giving you this, now I expect?
Should you ever expect? Because what if you're the person always giving? Like, you know what I'm saying?
You just can't give more than
you just
know
take
what I
it
mean?
away, right?
Yeah. I think
I mean, yeah.
love is like if we all had cups of water, right? And it was how much love we have to give. If you have enough, then you can give it and it doesn't hurt. But if you only have a little bit and I give you some and you don't give me any back, like I needed that. You know what I mean? I needed that love for myself. So then I don't like you because you're not giving me any back. But if my cup was full and it was all good, then I could give you some and it wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I think you have to like grow your own love enough that you can like give it to people without it hurting.
Yeah, I saw something similar to that. It was like you can't give out love if you have no love to give. You know? What do you think? How do you get love? How do you give out love? Like, how do you get love to give? You know what I'm saying? What does that mean?
I think it's different to everyone.
Like, do you need to be loved by someone to have love to give?
Okay, so I was reading this thing, right? And it was talking about how we hold people as our objects of attention, but they're all our feelings, right? So if I love someone, I'm putting my attention on that person, but those feelings are mine. I'm creating them. I'm making the thoughts that make me think I love them, right?
I'm trying
Are
to
you with
follow.
me?
I'm trying to follow.
Okay, so this painting, I love this painting, right? So I'm looking at this painting and I'm like, wow, that's amazing. But I'm thinking the thought, that's amazing.
You're creating value on the painting.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're giving yourself those feelings. Those are your feelings, and you're the only person responsible for your feelings. You know what
They
I'm
can't
saying?
be held, like the painting can't be held responsible because it doesn't love you back.
Yeah.
Why can't we treat other humans as inanimate objects?
I mean,
Well,
go ahead.
Because look, I mean, yeah, you could love the painting, right? It doesn't
Right.
nothing. It doesn't love you back. It doesn't feel anything. Like you can love video games, like they're entertaining, they provide value, but they don't care. You know, they don't have feelings. Why do we care if someone else gives us love back?
because you're not expecting the painting to love you back.
So
Yeah.
why do we have expectations on people?
Nature versus nurture. Yeah. We've created a dynamic in the world around us that we expect something from everybody, whether it's don't cross the yellow lines on the road to like, hey, I've given you my attention and my love and my feelings. I expect you to give me the same results back. I have a methodology of how I do it, but it actually involves like creating friend groups. And I talked about this a little bit on my masterclass. But I was like, you have these circles of friends. The outer circle are like the frenemies, the people you really don't like that only add like drama and strife to your life. And you try to keep them as far away as possible, but you can go through life and interact with them, but keep up your boundaries nonstop. Then you have like your party friends, the next circle in, you have these party friends, the people that you always see out that you say you're going to grab coffee with, but you never do. But you have a fine enough time with them, but you would never actually get close to them. And then you have your next circle of friends, which is your group of friends that each of them provides kind of like a, if you look at it like a pie chart, this one friend is great at going to parties with you. Then this friend is great at going to movies with you. And this friend is great at having deep conversations. And this friend's great at eating food with you. You know, and each of these friends kind of fill these different needs in your life because no one person, it's too much to ask from a single person.
Right.
It's far too much. And then you have your deep core inner circle. These are your ride or dies. You were lucky enough to have one in your life, let alone two. If you have three, please call me because you're a unicorn.
Yeah.
You probably only have two and you think you have three. But these are the people that you can share infinite and everything with, and they will not judge you. They will challenge you. They will be your best friend no matter what. And these are the friends that you can ask for things from, and they can ask for things from you, and there is a complete mutual exchange.
Is it normal to not want to like blend those friends?
I don't blend those friends at all.
Okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll
No, but I'm saying because there's times where I'm like, no offense, I love you guys, but
Yeah.
sometimes I just want to go hang with people I don't really care about.
yeah,
Is that normal?
that's totally normal.
That's fine.
But that's part of like
Okay.
those are the party friends. Like,
Oh, okay.
you know, that's the pie chart of what I was breaking down. Is like I don't invite you guys to everything that I do all the
Right,
time. 'Cause
right.
sometimes I want to go hang out with Josh and Debbie.
Right.
You know, sometimes I want to go hang out with like Brock and watch a movie.
Right.
Sometimes I want to go with Derek and we just like fucking he barbecues chicken and makes gumbo and like we have a good time and watch a movie.
Right.
There's different needs to
Why is that?
humans.
Why though? Why would you not want to bring your core friends to those things?
Sometimes you need a break.
Yeah.
Because think of it like a relationship. Like think of all these relationships in quarantine that are just falling apart because too much time has been spent and they
Yeah.
realize they never actually liked each other in the first place. It's like you need time apart to be able to talk about the new things that are happening in your life. Because if I know everything that's going on with Mark and Mark knows everything that's going on with me and Mark knows everything that's going on with Saxon and it's just this trifecta of we know everything. It builds up a certain, what is it? Closeness breeds contempt. Is that right? Proximity breeds contempt or something like that. At some point, you're going to be like, yo, you're fucking annoying. Just shut the fuck up. Deal with that problem or get the fuck out of my face. You talk about the same shit, blah, blah, blah. But sometimes we just need to go out and experience the world and like be refreshed. It's like taking a friendcation. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like emotionally, you need other things from other people. And if your friends are too territorial to let you go and hang out with other friends, I'm going to say you don't have friends.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this earlier. Nothing that you can't leave is good.
Yeah. Yep.
If there's anything
Hold on,
you
say that one more
can't,
time.
if there's anything you can't leave, it's bad.
Yeah.
You can only not leave bad things.
Wait.
Do you understand what I'm
I'm
saying?
trying. I can't understand this.
So like,
If there's anything you can't leave,
Bad.
yeah.
it's bad.
Yes.
Like if it like you know that relationship where you're like I have to like always be around. You have that one friend, you know what I mean? Like that one friend that's always I have to be around.
I love how you winked at me.
I know you know who I'm talking about, but I have to be around at all times, and they can't hang out with that other person.
Yeah.
Bad.
Right? Bad.
You, like relationships, like even if you wanted to leave the relationship and they were like, I'm gonna make your life miserable, I hate you now, bad. You must leave. But if they're like, okay, I understand, I want you to be happy, this hurts, but I want you to be happy, then good, then you can probably, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
I
only
feel
not
that.
sorry, that was just a thought
No,
I had
I think
today.
that's a great point. If you
I
have
agree.
to stick into it, then maybe it's not worth having.
It's interesting too that like why like for the example this weekend I went and hung out with some friends that I don't like, the party friends.
yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I guess there's times where you just like, but you know what I hate when you go hang out with your party friends and they like try to talk business or like they bring up the very thing you're trying to fucking escape.
Yeah.
They're like, so how's work? And you're like, God
Shut
dang
up.
it, dude. I just want to fucking drink right now. And stare at beautiful women or something. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, I don't want to talk about my job. That's why I'm at this party. Like, I'm
Right.
trying to get away from it.
Yeah.
And you're like I was at a party, small get together, and this guy's like talking about the stock market and shit. I'm like, bro, it's Saturday. I don't want to talk about this. I don't care. Like,
It's
the worst.
exhausting. Well, it's also, I think it's also exhausting because like they haven't built that rapport with you, and when they just start talking shit out of their ass and they're like, the stock market is going up today,
Yeah.
and you're like, bro, I know you fucking spent $500 on your fucking Louis Vuittons from your EDD check. No offense, but like I don't trust you on anything you're about to say in the stock market.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's interesting to talk about, but like, yeah, no, you're right. But that's because they're that friend group, and you don't want to like divulge those things.
Right. I don't want them to get too close.
You're
like,
that piece
back
of the
up.
pie
Yeah.
of the
Literally.
friend group
Yeah.
circle.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for talking. I feel like I just vented as always.
I mean, honestly, I think this is therapeutic because I'm sure there's other people watching this, and like they get to see somebody at the top of their game and all of us at the top of our own respective games, and realize that life is still life. Like we all still deal with the same dumb shit. No
Right.
matter how high up you get, you're still dealing with like relationship problems, friend problems, and sometimes you got to pee in the middle of a podcast and you got to take a break.
I
And
gotta piss. Also, guys, I downloaded this dating app. I'm not gonna fucking shout them out or anything like that, but
Yo, but if they do want to sponsor, what's up?
fucking the worst. I don't know. I can't do dating apps. I just don't really care. But
Yeah.
I just, yeah. Never mind.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, maybe we could have a threesome. Just us, you, me, and your best friend.